Shalom, shalom, everybody, and shalom to Mr. Moshe Feiglin, the leader of the Zehut party. Shalom, Moshe.
Shalom, Avi. How are you?
Baruch Hashem, I am doing very well, and it is a real honor to be speaking with you today. For those who are not familiar, I give a hakarat hatov to you for getting me involved in politics. רק רגע, אני צריך להפסיק, משהו קרה. One second. All right, for whatever reason, your camera stopped. All right, now it's working again. Speak.
1, 2, 3. You hear me?
Now I hear you. All right, let's try this again.
Okay.
Try this again. Shalom, everybody, and shalom, Mr. Moshe Feiglin. How are you today?
Baruch Hashem. Thank God. How are you, Avi?
Baruch Hashem, very well. It is a real honor to be speaking with you today. גם לא עובד. All right, let's try one more time. Try one more time. משום מה, the camera turns off and I stop seeing you.
Yeah, I see your picture freeze.
Right. All right, let's do this again. Okay. All right, here we go. Shalom. Let's try again. Shalom, Moshe Feiglin. How are you today?
Baruch Hashem. Thank God. How are you, Avi?
Baruch Hashem, very well. It is a real pleasure interviewing you today. Here, for those who are not familiar, you are the leader of the Zehut party, and I give a lot of hakarat hatov to you because I got involved in Israeli politics around 20 years ago, thanks to your involvement with the Likud party and understanding the importance that if we want to make a difference, we have to be involved in politics. At the time, you said the way to make a difference is to get involved in a potential ruling party, which was the Likud. So I followed you and many others in that direction. I am still part of the Likud party today, trying to make an influence within the Likud. And now you are on a new direction for the past few years with the Zehut party, the identity party. So very quickly, what is important, the most important message about the Zehut party that people should be voting for in order to make sure you get into the Knesset?
Well, just one little correction, Avi. I'm not on a new direction. I'm on the exact same direction, but using a different tool because I decided I have to keep on going directly straight to the same direction. I had to change the tool, actually create a new tool because I realized that the Zehut party will not take us into that direction anymore. And I was never
the Likud party.
Yes. the Likud party, and I never looked for influence. I looked for leadership, and that's what I explained always, and that's why I physically ran to the head of the party, so everybody will realize that it's not influential that we're talking about. It is the leadership of the Israeli society, the Jewish nation, the state of Israel. This is the goal. This is the direction. And because the leadership of the Likud were sealed, closed and sealed for us, there's only one way to continue, and it is to create a different tool. Now, the Zehut party taking the exact same ideas that we had in the Jewish leadership fraction inside the Likud, and simply putting it on the table in front of the entire Israel society and not only the members of Likud. That's the main difference. Now, we started the Zehut party about 4 years ago when we left Likud. And it wasn't easy at all to build the frame of the party, to keep the spirit of the activists. But we managed to get Israelis, especially young Israelis, very excited. And today, three and a half weeks before the election, we see something amazing that's happening in Israel. It's simply amazing what's going on. The Zehut is already way above the threshold with basically the votes of the Tel Aviv young generation. Now, what's amazing here is that I'm being attacked very strongly from both sides. I'm being attacked by Bennett and the New Right party that he created on one hand, and by Tamar Zandberg and Meretz on the left hand. They both attacking me personally and the Zehut party because these two parties, the most extreme right and the most extreme left, losing votes to Zehut, losing mandates to Zehut. These two parties are very much afraid that they're not going to pass the threshold. Yes, Avi, I'm serious. The new right of Bennett and Zandberg is sweating right now. And so we see here something that no one could expect. There's something very, very special that's happening here, and it's way above politics. It represents something very deep in the Israeli society that I would be happy to try to explain. And when I'm saying trying, even to myself, I find that I'm to be honest, I don't feel that I have inside myself the complete answer of this amazing thing that's happening here, but I can think of two things why it's like that. The message of Zehut is a frame of very firm identity, Jewish identity. Zehut means identity, and inside that frame, a message of full freedom to the individual. Okay, it's like a Chabad house. When you walk into a Chabad house in Bangkok or wherever you go, you know exactly what's the identity of the place. There's no doubt about it. But inside, no one will force you to be anything else besides what you are already. So we're talking about a political Chabad house. This is the Zehut party, a political Chabad house, and it talks to both sides, left and right. Okay, everybody see what he needs inside that frame. We have people from all sorts of parts of the Israeli society joining Zehut. And what can I tell you? It's exciting, very exciting process. It's like things that we dreamed of for the last 20 or 25 years coming true.
And what is it that is pulling one specifically youth, if more so, you said that, and I believe that, both from the right and from the left to your message?
Look, first of all, these two parties, the right and the left, are the most intelligent people. They're looking for substance. Those who don't care about ideas go to the center. Center right, center left, Gantz, Netanyahu. All these guys work from the stomach. Netanyahu's people hating the Bennett and the left, and hating Gantz and the left. Gantz hate Netanyahu and the right, and it's about hatred and fear. The people that are more are in those parties, the New Right and Meretz, looking are the first people to look for substance. And when the Zehut Party published a platform as a book for many years, we didn't see a real platform in Israeli politics. Suddenly comes the party, the Zehut Party, and publish a platform of 344 pages. And listen to this, Avi. This book, the platform book of the Zehut Party, became a bestseller, literally the bestseller in Stematsky and Somet Sfarim, in two biggest book chain stores in Israel, and still sells like 300 books every day. It's crazy. So there's the longing for meaning and substance is what pulling these people to us from both sides.
So I want to start with some policy-oriented questions.
And by the way, the message of freedom, the message of free market, the message of the voucher system in the education system, the message of giving back the people of Israel their country that were taken away by those bureaucracies and the old Mapai guys and those who took over the same system from them in the Likud Central Committee. Okay, these people that are close to power and took away the country for the last 70 years. And because of these bureaucracy guys, the young generation cannot buy a home, cannot buy a house, and work more hours than anybody else in the West, and making less than anybody else in the West, in the OECD, and paying in the grocery store more than anybody else in the OECD. And you see in America and other places in the world, all these young Israelis that are fed up and left Israel because of that. This young generation, Zehut became the mouth for this young generation that feels like prisoners in their own country after they served in the army, were willing to give their life, very talented, learned in the university, willing to work hard, and have no chance of finishing the month, as they say in Israel, on a regular salary. They can't even dream of buying a home if they won't get help from their grandmother. Okay, these guys see today the Zehut Party as their only hope.
So I'll follow that exact point then. If I understand Israeli reality correctly, there are two big obstacles stopping anyone from enforcing the necessary changes to the Israeli economy to free it up, to allow for the changes necessary so that housing prices are less, kids, or we're all earning more. And those two problems are, one, that there are a number of certain families or individuals who own the Israeli economy, on the one hand, and two, the workers' unions that that are so powerful in Israeli culture and society that they stop the necessary changes. First of all, what am I missing there besides those two? And second of all, what can you bring to the table to do differently that other governments, especially Bibi Netanyahu, who has that understanding but hasn't succeeded in making those changes either?
Well, I think the most important thing that I bring to you're right about these two things, and then there's much more than that. There's much more than that. We can talk about it until tomorrow, but all these circles of protection and so on. But I think the major thing that I bring to the table is the fact that I'm not coming from within the system. And you know what? Who I think about when I'm saying that? One guess. Who who got elected 2 years ago talking about drain the swamps? It's the same thing. I think one of the reasons Trump got elected in America is because he did not belong to no. He was not He was not to buy. He did not belong to those circles. Netanyahu, unfortunately, is part of the system. He definitely cannot go against it anymore. Owe too many things to too many people. And what the Zehut party and me personally bring to the table is that we don't see them. We don't see them. We're going to go straight through them, and we have the backing of a very serious young generation that are longing and waiting for that. We feel the wind in our back, you know. We have legitimacy.
Moshe, I lost you. I lost you when you were saying we have the backing of very serious. Can you start that sentence again?
What I'm saying is, besides the will to fight against those old centuries of power, and the ability to do it because we don't owe anything. They don't owe us, okay? And not by money, not by bribing, not by nothing. Besides that, we have today the legitimacy for a new generation of Israelis. This is what they're looking for, to free their country, to be able to flourish in their own country. So it won't be just Eretz Zavat Chalav Udvash. It won't be the land of milk, only the land of milk and honey. It will be also the state of milk and honey.
Got it. All right. I want to jump to two other policy issues that come from two different camps. They're associated with two different camps, but they're both part of your platform. First, let's start with the one. We'll start with cannabis. Why is this issue of cannabis so important for you? And is it all cannabis? Is it just medicinal? Are there some restrictions? So 2 levels. Why is this so important to you? So much so, if I've heard correctly, that you're actually going to put it.
I think we got cut. Do you hear me, Avi?
No. As a condition, that's correct. Moshe?
Do you hear me?
I hear you.
Okay. I have another. Yeah, you'll have to excuse me. I'm in the middle of a very rough campaign, so I'll just answer that question, and we'll have to end it here. I'm really apologize. Do you hear me? Hello?
I hear you. No, you have to answer that. Then you have to answer me about the Temple Mount, the importance of one and the importance of the other.
So these two, and that's it. About the cannabis, it's very simple. The cannabis represents it's the tip of the iceberg, okay, of something much bigger than just the cannabis. It's the tip of the iceberg of freedom, of liberty, and on top of that, I mean, the fact that the state can get into your veins, what you allow yourself, what you're allowed to put in your body, and what you're not allowed. I'm not smoking cannabis at all, okay? Personally, I'm against it. I'm not even taking a pill against headache. That's me personally. But I will never tell you what to take and what not to take. You have a full autonomy on your soul, on your body, and I'm not gonna get involved with that. Besides that, the cannabis is causing less harm than cigarettes and alcohol, and definitely the only reason it's not allowed is because of interests of tremendous money interests of different companies. I'm not going to get into that, but it's a big problem that's causing life, because the end result is that people who are sick in Israel do not get their medicine and simply die. So you're talking about freedom, you're talking about saving lives, you're talking about something that if we're not going to pass immediately, we'll never be able to do it later because of a very greedy, big concerns and power centuries.
But are there any red lines? You're just saying freedom means under no red lines whatsoever.
We're talking about cannabis. We're not talking about uh, other drugs. Talking about cannabis, yes, with cannabis, we're talking about legalization, just as in Colorado, just as starting to be in New York, in other places in the free world. That's the direction that the whole free world is taking today, and that's where Israel should step into as well. Now, about Bet HaMikdash, Avi, I'm keeping my loyalty to my land and to my Jerusalem and to the Temple Mount. No one will be able to find uh, um, one miss in the ways that I vote, in the way that I voted, in any challenge that rolled to my door during my candidacy in the Knesset. I kept my loyalty to my people and to my land and to my holy city, into the Temple Mount. I think I deserve the I got I got the Siyun, how do you say it? I got
Grade.
the mark, grade of 100%. And I don't want to talk about others, but you can check me and see that there was no challenge that I had to choose between my loyalty to these values and my own political needs. I always choose my values and gave away my own future. That's why I'm not in the Knesset right now. So there's nothing to be afraid of. The Zehut party will always remain loyal to Yerushalayim, to Eretz Israel, to the Temple Mount. Don't worry about it. We did not give away all our values for cannabis. That's not the
I wasn't questioning your loyalty to Har HaBayit. Believe it or not, I know you have to go. It was thanks to you that I really internalized the importance of true peaceful future with our neighbors starts with Jewish control and sovereignty over the Temple
The
Mount.
Zehut party, at the end of the day, the Zehut platform is the only platform in Israeli politics that's talking about full sovereignty of the state of Israel over all pieces of land that God gave us in the Six-Day War, including Gaza, including the Judea and Samaria, of course, including Jerusalem and the Temple Mount, only Jewish sovereignty on the Temple Mount. And Zehut is talking about it openly, and yet getting all the Tel Aviv guys to vote for her, for that party. And this is a miracle, Avi. And this is a miracle. We're doing something amazing. We're not playing the old game anymore. We're creating now a serious force against two sides, the left and right as well, that keep on representing the old politics, the old politics that always led to more destruction of villages in Judea and Samaria. And we all know what's waiting for us in Jerusalem with a Trump plan that's going to be forced on us right after. The only party that's really going to be able to stand against that is the Zehut party, and not all those nice little right parties that are right now very deep in Netanyahu's pocket. Okay.
All right.
Thank you very much,
Moshe.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. All right. So that was Mr. Moshe Feiglin of the Zehut party. Had plenty more questions I wanted to ask him about. Did not have the time. He's in the middle of a campaign, obviously, but I'm very thankful for the time I was able to have. You have any questions or concerns, please write them below in the comments section, and we look forward to having more election interviews to help you better decide as the elections come closer for the future of the Jewish people and the land of Israel, because the truth is that, yes, the redemption starts here, and us living here and us having the ability to have a voice and say in choosing who our leadership is, whether all the necessary changes are going to happen tomorrow or in a few years' time, elections are always critical, and educate yourself about who's best for a better future. And no matter what we end up with, no matter on which side of the camp you are, whether you're right, whether you're left, whether you come to this center with the Zehut party that's bringing people from both sides. Regardless of who wins, who loses, whether you're happy or sad, it's all part of the process. Stay positive. We're going the right direction. And if you're Jewish and you're not here in Israel yet, well, come home. This is the place where the Jewish future is being decided upon. And you no longer have to be a fan in the sidelines. You could be a player on the field with all of us. Shalom. This is Avi Abela from Israel Unwired, from the eternal and undivided capital of the Jewish people, where the future of the Jewish people is happening. Shalom, everyone.